Currently -2 degrees, and it feels like -20. Today I'm conducting an extreme cold weather test on my Tesla and myself. The test for me is a solo hike to a Wisconsin State Park. That is a separate video, link in the description. This video is focused on my 2024 Model 3. I have a long-range all-wheel drive that is rated for 340 miles according to the EPA using these 18-inch wheels. I did extensive research before I purchased this car on various different types of EV brands, but also on electric cars in general to understand if they were a good match for me. One thing I had to consider, given that I live in Wisconsin, is how do they handle the winter? Ultimately, I concluded that not only can this Tesla handle the winter, it is in fact superior in many ways to gas cars and other EV models at doing so. If you're watching this video, then perhaps you are in the same boat that I was and doing your research right now. Or maybe you're just a hater and you want to see me fail and have to get a tow to a supercharger. Either way, welcome to this first video in a series as I document my real-world experience with my Tesla. I hope you find the content useful and entertaining, and if you have any questions along the way, please leave a comment below. I'm currently at 79% battery and completed preconditioning about 30 minutes ago. The state park I'm going to is called Gibraltar Rock. It's 30 miles away, so 60 miles round trip. The estimator for me is usually spot on, if not a little bit conservative. Sometimes I arrive with more battery remaining than expected. It says it's going to take 14% to get to the state park, and then 12% to get back to where I'm currently at, Tenney Park. That's not a mistake. The estimator takes into account various factors, including elevation, and on the way there we do have a little bit of an elevation climb. On the way there, I decided to have some fun. For scientific reasons, just for scientific reasons. I drove it hard for 15 minutes to see how it would react in the cold. Furthermore, I did stop for about 3-5 minutes to find a cable to charge my phone. On the top left-hand side, you can see that I arrived with 1% less than what was originally estimated. I'd say that's within the margin of error. If you look towards the bottom left-hand side, we get some more stats, where it says the current drive took 349 watt-hours per mile, which is quite impressive at this temperature. For the first 15 minutes of the 42-minute ride, I was manually driving it myself, but the remainder was in FSD, where it was in chill mode, going 72 miles per hour really at the most. The cabin was being set to 70 degrees, and the steering wheel and seat warmer were both on the lowest setting. On the bottom right-hand side, you can see that the estimate for the return trip has been lowered by 1%, from 53 down to 52, because we arrived with 1% less than was originally expected. Now it's my turn to be tested. Before I head home, I'm gonna have a quick bite to eat. It's nice to have the front keep my sandwiches nice and cold. When I arrived, I had 64% battery. An hour and a half later, I'm at 62. That 2% difference accounts for Sentry mode running, which is where all the cameras are recording. And also I was inside the car for about 10 minutes with the heater on, eating my sandwich. So now for the ride home, it's still estimating that it'll take 12%, but now given our state of charge is at 62, it says that we will arrive at 50. Full self-driving took care of everything on the way home. This picture shows that I arrived with 48 instead of 50, but I took this picture about 10 minutes after I actually arrived because I was on the phone with my grandma for a while. However, this is twice now that the estimate was off. There are some factors contributing here. Maybe it's just a margin of error, or maybe it's off by 1% when it comes down to these extreme temperatures. Just something to keep in mind. I'll be looking for it on the future trips. Overall, according to this test at 0 degrees when it feels like -20, I can conclude that the range on this day was about 200 to 220 miles.